So it's a happy new year from Danny Lewis here, Music Pro Tutorials. And in this video, what we're going to do is take a look at something that took me by surprise. It's a new plugin from a company that I've not heard of before. Basically, someone got in touch with me through my email and they said, look, do you want to try this thing out? This is the developer of the actual product. And I thought I'd give it a go. I'm really impressed, but I'm going to have to demonstrate this thing to you, and I'm going to do so on top of this track idea. Let's just focus on these beats. Okay, have a listen. So they've got a nice vibe. I'm happy with the programming, but I'm wondering, will this plugin make a difference on this? So let me just load it up. So we're going to go here, typewriter, 10x, 10 times. And you're faced with this thing. This looks really industrial, kind of scary, but the thing sounds really interesting. And I'm going to show you what happens, right? Okay, let's just have a listen. Okay, so I'm going to just adjust the settings in front of you. So this is not doing anything at the moment. This X comes alive when the processing is applied. Let me just turn this. Now, I don't know if you can hear that. It depends on your monitoring capabilities at the moment. But things just got wide, like really spatial. I'm just going to bypass this. You ready? There we go. I'm going to turn it on. Ready? So that's really jumping out, right? And I've got to confess, this particular effect, you've got to use it carefully, certainly on this kind of music, because if you go overboard, this thing just goes so wide. I'm going to crank it up. Have a listen. So that's not feeling right. I hope you agree. I'm going to bring this down again and gradually bring it up, and then maybe just nudge it back a bit. Look, you hardly need anything of this, but there's something about it. Once again, so without. Just alternating on and off here. Now, this is going to take some explaining as to what it does. So I've copied the notes from the developer into the notepad. So what it is that it's basically a dynamic image plugin. And what it's doing is kind of widening everything, extending the sides. And let me read this out. So a dynamic image is essentially a continuation of the LCR thoughts developed in the 70s. LCR is what songs were originally mixed in due to the limitation of panning on the analog console boards. If you consider everything outside of the Phantom Center, the sides, this is a side amplifier that dynamically reacts to the sound entering the plugin. You'll notice as you extend the sides to a volume louder than the Phantom Center, the perception of depth or dimension in your sound will collapse in on itself. This plugin can create a breathing side image, or you can collapse the sides into mono. The hyperdrive is useful to dial in the attack and release, or convert mono to stereo, or create a breathing effect similar to the imaging in Escape Artist, which is another typewriter audio plugin. It was the first one. The developer is also releasing a free sample pack called Rude Boy. He's an audio engineer first. The hyperdrive is essentially a complex algorithm. Think Star Trek warp drive in adding dimensions to a simple signal. So anyway, look, note how the X graphic has a visual sweet spot, also to find the correct attack and release. I haven't even adjusted those just yet. Hyperdrive is a dive into expanding the amount of dimension to the sound. I think you'd agree that. Through oscillators and Hasse effect, delay panning between two stereo delay Hasse affected channels, giving a very distinct center effect, giving depth to the Phantom Center. This plugin is best used to play sounds within the dimensions furthest from the mono down to the black hole. I just love the way this is written. Within the mono center, that gives you audio stability. Simply put, you can play stuff far away or up close within a completely unique digital space created by your music incoming. It is a step past reverb and delay, in the sense of X, Y, Z axis of a good mix. Be careful how you affect the phase on the mono signal and you'll be fine. So actually, let's do that now as a test. Right, let's put this back on. Let's come down to utility, gain, and stereo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a check. I'm going to turn on the mono switch and we're going to have a listen, making sure that we're not losing any elements. So what I'd be watching out for is anything that is kind of taken away, like some of the kick energy, which could happen. But this feels like it's working really nicely, actually, really nicely. Let's have a listen in context of the track. Okay, I like the sound of that, but I'm going to do the A-B switching again. Yeah, so this has got a unique vibe, that's for sure. Let's take a look at some of the parameters. So it mentions the hyperdrive. Let's turn this on. Let's have a listen. Now this is that pumping, breathing kind of vibe. So I've slowed the attack and you can really hear that coming through. This might be really good on a parallel. So, to use a send and return and to have this actually loaded as a return effect and then for this to be blended with the original. This is strange. Now, as you can hear on my kind of music, and it might also be your kind of music, this is something to use in moderation. Yeah, for some of the more extreme electronic styles out there, you might want to crank it up and do stuff, but there is something about this that feels unique. So yeah, take a look, have a listen, see if you can find some more demos if you're on the fence about whether or not to purchase it. I don't know what to say other than I'm grateful to the developer for sending it to me, and as you can hear, it definitely has a vibe. I'm going to keep it on this track. I like it.